Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. Today I'm in beautiful Port Credit. I'm beside a beautiful yacht. You're gonna see it later. I'm gonna pan on it. But if it's too good to be true in today's real estate market, it probably is. And there's something to think about. So what I wanna get into is all of these, I'm not gonna say fake, but these misleading Facebook posts or social media posts, or you're finding these great deals on your social media, and then when you actually click in that particular post, you find out that this property has been listed actually, but it's not listed in Toronto as they're claiming. It's listed in a small town somewhere where you actually have to go on Google, type it in to actually find these particular prices. So it is misleading and it is fake. So let's talk about what is going on. So I think we're literally in an uncomfortable situation when it comes to these real estate deals and most what is going on currently in the real estate market. So some of the buyers have been buying in the past few years, and at the time it seemed like that these interest rates and that the show will and that the show must continue and must go on, but unfortunately that was not the case, as we know that interest rates went up, and it is a complete chaos in the real estate market. So a couple of things I like to touch on, and then I was actually very surprised. It happened to one of the areas north of Toronto, particularly Vaughan. I have a listing in Vaughan, but in that particular neighborhood, the listing agent listed this particular home for sale, and I thought that this price, because it was very attractive price, I thought for sure somewhere down the line I will read that they're holding offers or that they have an offer night or an offer date. So as I was reading all the details about the actual listing, there was nothing there. So I said, okay, hold on a second. So there's no offer date. They put the attractive price. I'm sure that they want more money. Like, you know what I mean? Like somewhere down the line. So I picked up the phone. I called the listing agent. I spoke with her. She was very nice, professional, polite. And I asked her straight up, I'm like, look, with this particular price, what you have, is this it? Or you guys are expecting more than the actual price? And she said, no, that's it. That's what we want, right? So the pictures and the photos look stunning. Everything looked good. Everything was amazing and whatnot, right? So in that particular case, I was kind of like, how do, what is going on? Like, are they either rushing to sell or they have to sell, right? Like I went obviously into the history and whatnot, and I found out that this particular home was bought in the COVID or in that particular lockdown period. So I understand at the time that it was, people were aggressive and listings were very short, like we were short on listings, the demand was high, so they're selling now, right? So either they cannot afford a house or something is, there is a backstory to this particular story. So like even with my clients, I said, okay, let's go and see it, right? I mean, like it does make sense based on this particular strategy, how we are going to list our particular home. We have to actually go and see this particular home just so we can strategize our own listing, right? So when we went there, I was surprised because, like I said, photos were stunning. Everything looked flawless. It was amazing, okay? But the finishes were also good. And that property sold $150,000 over asking. Okay, so when we were actually strategizing for our listing, I didn't know what to do, because I'm like, look, if they're listing it at a particular price, so we should be significantly lower, because like that particular listing is identical home, but it's much more superior when it comes to finishes. So I was confused, and then they got 150,000 over asking. So the final price, it was actually the market value, right? So I did not understand at that particular time why they would do that, but that was their game plan. So the point number two, I was also in situations where, the price looked good, the photos looked amazing, and then, my clients that were picking up the phone, they're like, oh my gosh, we have to see this, and how come? Okay, so I looked at the entire listing, and I said, yes, it is actually amazing, and even today, this is a great, extremely good value, because you're getting a lot in this particular property for this particular price. But then, like, I went out of my way to show this particular home, and then I found out that those finishes were not even close. I mean, the photos were so much better. But when we actually went into detail, and when I looked at this particular home from the inside and the craftsmanship of these finishes, like, all of those things had to be torn down technically, like everything. Like, it looked good on the photo, but other than that, horrible. Like, the joints were not at 45, what we like to say, and there's a lot of things missing. So also for all of your buyers, right? Like, you have to be very careful analyzing these properties, just because some of these listing agents say, look, the kitchen has been fully renovated. What does that mean, right? Like, that means new cabinets, new appliances, preferably, countertop, backsplash, floors, walls. That is fully renovated, right? So, but some of these kitchens, they just change the countertops to quartz, or maybe they even left the countertops, but maybe they have changed the backsplash, maybe they added some lighting here and there, and they consider that fully renovated. Because the difference between a fully renovated a kitchen on an average size could be somewhere between 40, 50, $80,000 versus not renovated. So just be careful on that. Also, be careful on virtual staging, because if they don't show the property staged and then the other photo not staged, because they add all these elements that make that property look stunning, right? Like AI, artificial intelligence, fake staging, nothing wrong with that. But if they keep adding other elements, right, like, you have to be careful on that part. So I also like to add that some other things, like even washrooms, like big ticket items, kitchen, bathrooms, floors, and all of these things, you have to make sure that these things are actually done. And number 2 point, that they have been done right. So a couple of things: be careful browsing through Facebook Marketplace. Nothing wrong with that. You're looking for a property, you should be active. I prefer my buyers to be active. It helps me get also the other perspective when it comes to their home purchase and their idea what they like. But just be careful, because a lot of these, they're just baits. They want you to click on it, to call these agents, and these properties are who knows what, like, right? Like, if, as an example, if you see a detached home, double car garage for $699, and the address is, Toronto, Vaughan, Mississauga, etc., believe me that those properties do not exist. At least they don't exist today for this particular price. I hope you liked the video. Please like, subscribe, and share, and see you all next time.